Certifications are amazing. I think the tier you want to go as far as moving up in the IT career world, certification would be up there as one of the top tiers to do if you want to advance your career. Some of you might be considering degrees that include certifications. While I'm not completely opposed to degrees, I would consider going the certification route first. If you have no experience in IT, certifications are great. If you have some experience in IT, certifications are also great. The only time I would advise against certifications is if you have a stack of them already and you think the next one will be the one that will actually get you the job. You have something else going on if you're not able to get a job and you have a full stack of certifications. But for now, I think we'll talk about, I might cover that later, but for now, I think we'll just stick to the different paths certifications can bring you, or the different certifications you should look into depending on your current station in your career. For the first few years, there are a few certifications you should get. So this is going from 0 to 2 or 3 years, depending how fast you're going. But I would go ahead and start off with some CompTIA certifications. Some vendor-neutral certifications that are synergetic to your role. Like Security Plus, for example. If you're interested in the A+, maybe study it, but don't get the certification. It's expensive, and you can use that money for other things, and your time as well. And then once you have your foundational certifications from the CompTIA world, I would immediately start looking into becoming specific in what you want to do as soon as possible. And then you can realize that there are certain vendors, there are certain certifications, there are certain tracks that are worth more than others. For instance, let's say if you wanted to go to the CCIE track or the OSCP track, I don't think you understand what it takes to get there. And the outcome from that track is quite questionable. Now, if you're passionate about it, go all in. However, if you're like most people in IT or pivoting into IT, you want a path that's least resistance, a path that's practical to your lifestyle goals. If you can be agnostic, then I would behoove you to stay away from certain certifications that are not worth their weight. However, there is something to be said about passion. So I do not want to detract you if there is this high drive for these certifications. The certifications that are worthwhile, I would say, are for those things that are trending. I usually tend to advise people I speak with in my school community to go through the Azure track. There are many different reasons. One being is majority of businesses use Microsoft. The majority of businesses use Windows operating systems. And from that ecosystem comes many other things that are synergetic through Microsoft, which is the parent of Azure. I have worked with many different customers, clients, advising them tools of the trade in this field of IT. And I have found and talked with many Microsoft vendors, and their presence is ubiquitous and it is expanding within organizations. This is why I steer people into the Azure track. Now, there is one other certification that I think is useful that is not quite for the beginners as well, or with the Azure track, let me finish that train of thought, is that even for beginners, Azure track is good. And even for those who are ready to progress, I believe the Azure track is also very good, because there are many different certifications within Azure that will allow you to climb into expertise. The next set, or outside of Azure, for something more advanced, would be, can you guess what it is? Let me give you a hint. If you have 4 years of experience, you can get this certification. If you guessed the CISSP, you're correct. Again, going back to the school community, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can sign up to my newsletter. And in my free newsletter, you'll get information about the school community and many other things when it comes to things I talk about in IT careers. But the CISSP, from the case studies I have researched online, which I have compiled in my school community, is that this is one of the most common certification that have substantive increases in people's salary. Whether that's landing 6 figures or moving up the 6-figure bracket. For the time and dedication it takes to study for it, it is much more worthwhile than getting the CCIE or the OSCP when it comes to advanced certifications. It is widely recognized. That's basically all I have to say when it comes to certifications. So if your path is climbing up into the 6-figure world, get your certifications. But also, once you have a sufficient stack, don't forget, you need a skill set at the end of the day. Proof that you can do more than the theory that you can now show with a certification. Until next time.